if you were to probably give advice to those out there, I think when you and I were graduating, you of course did electronics, I did accounting. When we were studying, I mean, there were these two or three lines, where you did science or you did commerce or you did what you did. You did arts, which was not looked upon very favorably. Now we've got all these educations and all the different avenues of work, and it could be overwhelming for this generation that's getting into work or about to get into work. Um, w- what kind of advice, and as someone who's running a big corporation like you are, um, what kind of advice would you give them, or what is it that you're looking for in the people that you hire as an organization, the young ones who are coming in especially?
One advice I always tell the younger people is that treat your careers as marathons, not sprints, right? Because many of these people come and they say that I'm going to do my job for 2 years or 2.5 years, and then I'm like going to see whether I'm doing well. But if they start treating it as a marathon, because if you're running a marathon, you need to run the fastest in the beginning of the race, right? You can take your time, conserve your energy, understand when you need to accelerate, when you need to slow down. Whereas sprint is really like you have to run it as fast as you can in first few seconds, and the race is over, right? Whereas the careers are not sprints, right? It's really about marathon. And the challenge with these all of youngsters do, which I also did as well, right? So, and that's where I keep telling them that's the learning I can give you from my gray hairs, is that we start comparing a lot, right? Oh, this person of my batch or this person of my vintage is doing better than me 1 year here and there really doesn't matter. As long as the second part of this advice is, as long as you build the right skill stroke experiences, not just the number of years of tag which you carry on your resume, because if you have the right skill set or the experiences, it'll pay off in the long run much better than just checking the box of doing 1 year of this job and another year of that job. That really doesn't help, right? So that's my first uh, or the first two parts of the advice. Second is, I frankly believe that careers are also quite a bit about luck. You need 60% is really your skills, right? So you need to be good at what you do. That's like a table stake. Then you actually get noticed or you get a chance to be on the table. But after that, sometimes you have to play it by the things it goes, right? You have to be at the right place at the right time. Like I got a job in Thailand when I was younger, and I took a job of a very small scale. I was running a much bigger business, but it was a P&L management job. At that time, a lot of people advised me that don't take that job. A lot of people said, take the job, it's a good experience. I ended up taking. And if I look back, had I not taken that experience in my career, I don't think so I'll be in this job where I am today if I had not taken that bet, right? So focusing on the experiences or the right skill is more important than number of years you check on your particular assignment. And I actually, that's probably the right word. Thus, don't treat it as an assignment. Treat it as a job where you learn or build your skill set, right? Because many times people just do assignments and check the box and move on. And and also, I would say is that piece. I would say is that many of the youngsters they they have got the habit of uh, not not very comfortable with listening to no, right? Uh, what I would say is that people should be very comfortable because they want decision making to be faster. But when the decision is no, they don't necessarily appreciate or agree to the fact that there can be a no also a decision, right? So that's my third advice is there are many decisions which are no, and you have to agree, disagree, but eventually commit to it because you can't be just keep going back and forth in this decision. And the last but not the least, I would say is that uh, a lot of youngsters today are looking for jobs outside, right? Grass is always greener on the other side, right? What my advice to them would be, don't evaluate jobs by individual items of the job or specific elements, right? In this organization, I don't like this item. Okay, that's fine. Maybe that's not as good as you would have liked it to be. But what about in totality? Because when you move to another organization, you really realize saying, oh, this something which I thought is not good is actually good here, but there are other items which are not as good as it was in the
Previous organization.
previous
Correct.
organization. So one has to look at everything in totality, not in isolation of each individual items, right? Because everything in the specific item may or may not be good, but when you start looking at it in whole, that's what really matters. And that's why probably I see some of the people who leave organization, they want to go back because they realize they're making not the best of the choice they should have made. So my other advice would be just look at the job in a totality rather than in isolation of individual items.
Absolutely. I remember going through one of those situations myself in a big job, and a very wise person had once said to me that the grass is greenest where you water it, and not so much, so keep nurturing, keep building. I think, um, that's one of the best, most well thought out answers I've ever gotten to that question, because I think, it also talks about how much you've given it a thought yourself, and these are your learnings that you're probably passing on to others, about, um, I guess moving on is very easy. It's just people think, what, if it doesn't work, we'll take something else. But then you realize all of a sudden, 5 moves later, that you moved one too many times, and now, nobody sees you as serious, and that then becomes a big challenge.